It had been a few weeks since Craig and Sarah Anderson adopted a child named Richard Blackwood. They loved the boy dearly. However, Sarah was intrigued by his odd behavior. He wasn't like the other kids his age, and had a strange obsession with a toy of his, a small box he always kept with him. Sometimes it felt like Richard spoke to the box. It wasn't unusual for a child to do things like that, but there was something fishy about the whole thing. Sarah just couldn't point out what. "Don't open my box," Richard said, glaring at Sarah. Sarah handed it over and smiled. "Don't worry, it's yours," she said, patting Richard on the back. But the truth of the matter was, Sarah was quite suspicious and awfully stressed after seeing the way Richard reacted to her seeing the box for herself. Just remembering the condition of the little girl at the park, bleeding till her dress was soaked, it gave Sarah a strange feeling at the bottom of her stomach. All fingers were pointed at Richard, while at the same time, no one could deny that he was just a young 5-year-old boy. "Craig, I just don't know what to do with Richard. He's so distant and strange, always carrying that creepy box." Kids have their crazy little obsessions growing up. It's nothing to worry about, it's just a small box. "Yeah, maybe you're right." Sarah suddenly held her mouth. She ran to the bathroom and hunched over the toilet, sick. "Are you okay, Sarah?" "I don't know. This is the 3rd time and I'm late this month. I think I may be pregnant." "What? Are you serious?" Craig shouted out in joy. "We should celebrate. It's like ever since we brought Richard to this house, only good things have happened. The boy has brought good luck to this family." Sarah took a pregnancy test the next day. She was more than delighted to find out she was indeed expecting. However, the news also made her a little concerned about something. "Craig, now that we're going to have a child of our own, I think we should take care of some things before the baby comes." "Whatever you want, darling." "I want you to make Richard a nominee to our wealth and property. Just as our children would get a share, I want to make sure Richard does as well." "Of course he will. How could you think I wouldn't include him?" "No, Craig. I don't know what will happen once we have this child. What if we become selfish about our child and overlook Richard? I just don't want to take chances. You know what I mean, Craig?" "Yes, don't worry, Sarah. I'll get it done as soon as possible." As the days passed, Sarah tried to bond with Richard. However, the boy was what he was, quiet. But Richard had started to play out more. He spent a lot of time out in the backyard, often running around after the squirrels. It was cute to watch the boy sit down in anger when he felt tired chasing after them and couldn't catch a single one. Craig and Sarah were at their happiest moment in their lives. They had a wonderful son and another to come. But all peace of mind was once again disrupted the day Sarah spotted some raccoons huddled up in the yard. She quickly went out to shoo them away when she realized they had come to feast on something. Sarah was horrified to see the remains of a squirrel behind the backyard tree, but what made her sick was the large claw marks on its body. They weren't of the claws of those raccoons. It was the same as the one she saw on the little girl's back at the park. Sarah remembered watching Richard running after the poor animals. Had he truly done this? Had that girl said the truth? It was Richard after all? But how? How could this be possible? Sarah was disturbed by the things she was going through, and Richard's strange behavior only added to it. She thought it was time to get a little more information on the boy. And so she traveled to the orphanage again. Sometimes the transition from one environment to another can be difficult. The boy has been through a lot. His mother passed away when he was only a babe of 3. But I assure you, Richard is a wonderful boy. Yes, of course, he's been great. It's just that it can be scary sometimes how he doesn't really behave like a 5-year-old at all. No, Mrs. Anderson, you just need to give him some time. Things like this happen. I have worried parents coming to me all the time. Don't worry, things will work out. The talk with the director wasn't of much help. He only told Sarah what she knew already. But when she walked out to the front lawn of the orphanage, she recognized one of the caretakers who were watering the plants. Richard Blackwood? Are you sure? And to Sarah's surprise, the young woman recognized her as well. Mrs. Anderson, right? You adopted Richard Blackwood. What are you doing here? Is everything okay? Why did you ask me if I was sure whether I wanted to adopt Richard? You looked quite anxious that day when I took his name. Ashley looked around for a bit. No, you're mistaken. I didn't say anything like that. Hold on. You did. Why are you lying to me? Look, I really need to know about Richard. Just tell me, is there something about my son I should know? Mrs. Anderson, if my boss knows about this, I'll be fired from here. I assure you, this will be between you and I. Okay, I'm sure you've noticed the boy is quite different from the others. We thought it was because he felt alone. We were all happy at the orphanage when a family agreed to adopt a few months after he came here. He was only 3 years old. But that wasn't the only family he has been with. He was adopted again when he was 4 years old by another couple just months before you adopted him. So what happened with those families? Why wasn't Richard able to stay with them? Mrs. Anderson, I don't want to deter you from this child. Maybe he's as innocent as any other, but there's something about him. The first family he was with all passed away in a car accident. Every member except for Richard. They had gone out to a camping trip when their car was discovered by a park ranger. They found Richard strapped in the car seat playing with that little box he always carries, and everyone else in a horrible condition. He was returned here, and almost a year after, he was adopted by a couple. A few months after they took him in, the wife passed away in an accident when she fell off her balcony from her apartment that was on the 4th floor. The husband gave up custody of the child after that. He said he couldn't raise him on his own. I remember the day he came. He was quite depressed, and it seemed that he was a bit fearful of the child when he brought Richard back. And Richard, he seemed to be unaffected by anything. It's like he's alright as long as he has that box of his to play with. Sarah didn't know what to say. This is all quite strange. Are you saying Richard took their lives? Ridiculous. He was a toddler. Ashley backed away. No, Mrs. Anderson. I'm not saying anything. And what did you say about that box? Hasn't Richard told you? His mother gave him that. Do you know what's inside of it? I don't know. He's never shared it with anyone. He's always playing with it by himself. Sarah went home that day awfully disturbed by whatever she had seen and heard about Richard. She got a strange suspicion of that box Richard always kept. Was it a source of bad luck? Something cursed? What? No. Sarah was going crazy. She slowly creeped down the hall to Richard's room and peered inside. She found him speaking to himself again, with the box opened in front of him. Richard, who are you talking to? Richard peered at Sarah from the corner of his eye. Sarah could hear him close the box quickly before he turned around. No one. Don't lie to me, mister. What is in your hand? It's just my box. The box? What is this creepy box in your hand all the time? What is this about? I play with it. Give it to me, Sarah demanded. But she could see the hesitation in Richard's movements. He slowly placed his hands into his pocket, but he wouldn't take it out. She raised her tone, looking straight into his eyes, stretching out her hands. Right now, Richard, I think it's time you need a break from this. You have so many other toys, you can play with those. Richard reluctantly placed a small box in her hand. Sarah stood up. "What is inside this thing?" she said, holding the latch. Richard suddenly spoke out. "No! Don't do it! Don't open it!" Sarah raised her brow. This was the most loud she had ever seen Richard. "Why?" she said as she flipped the latch and opened the box. Sarah fell into utter confusion. She furrowed her brows and turned it around and shook it. The box was empty. "Sarah? Richard? Are you guys in there?" Sarah nervously turned to see Craig come in. "What happened, Sarah? Is everything okay?" Craig asked, seeing the worried look on Sarah's face. The couple suddenly heard a giggle slip off Richard's lips. Sarah was horrified, seeing it soon turn into an uncontrollable laughter. When police and paramedics arrived at the Andersons' mansion, when caretakers at the orphanage called to check in on them and couldn't reach them, they found Craig and Sarah Anderson lifeless inside their home, and their 5-year-old son, weak and hungry, sitting quietly in his room. After a thorough investigation, it was discovered that both had passed away from a severe heart attack, though what could have possibly triggered a heart failure in them both couldn't be concluded. Consequently, Richard Blackwood was returned to the orphanage again. "Mama, why are you crying?" "Richard, perhaps Mama will not be with you anymore. I have to go, my child. But promise me you won't cry once I'm gone. You're my strong warrior, aren't you?" "Yes, Mama. But where are you going?" "Somewhere far. You'll be all by yourself, like I was when my Mama and Papa left me when I was like you. I grew up all on my own, and you will too. Give me your hand. I want you to have something. Even in my loneliest times, this kept me company." "What is this, Mama?" "You will soon come to know, my little boy. Keep this with you at all times. You will find a friend in it. It will protect you." "Mama? Mama? Get up! Get up!" Poor kid. This is the 3rd time this has happened. It's like he's cursed with bad luck. You think he'll ever find a family? Bad luck? What are you talking about? He doesn't need any family anymore. The child inherited all of the Andersons' wealth and property. Now it's only a wait till he's 18. Then he can get out of here and be the wealthiest man in Destrehan. Richard Blackwood. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.